Welcome back to Chasing the Target. And although today was a bit more relaxing day in terms of international cricket, tomorrow is a full day of cricket, whether it's the Under 19 Women's World Cup semi-finals, whether it's India versus New Zealand T20 series, or the South Africa versus England one-day series. There's a lot of cricket to be had, and we'll be discussing all that, previewing those matches. With me, I have Mr. Faiz Tahir. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, today was a bit of a holiday, बोल सकते हैं, in terms of some cricket. I mean, there was very little cricket to go around, but yeah, tomorrow is going to be action-packed. T20, one day, under 19, पूरे formats रहने वाले भाई एक दिन में मजा आने वाली है.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very hectic, busy, but a lot of fun also. I'm looking forward to that under 19 semifinals. Always knockouts jab aate, like wo excitement alag hi rehta. But let's start talking about the India versus New Zealand. Of course, we'll do our fantasy picks and all that. But Hardik Pandya is back at the wheel. He's going to be captaining, and third T20 series in a row that he's captaining. So the good thing is that he's fit for these series. That's a big positive if I look at it. And he's back with the youngsters and something to prove. How are you looking at this series for Hardik Pandya in India?
I think yeah, for Hardik Pandya, each sort of tournament or a match or a series, whatever you want to call it, is going to be important because if you remember the press conference, Rohit Sharma and Dravid, I think it was Dravid who said that I still don't believe in split captaincy. मेरे को यकीन नहीं हो रहा कि split captaincy बोल के कोई चीज है. Yes, Hardik Pandya is handling that because Rohit Sharma is busy with the test and the one days. I know it's not clearly, but obviously all the elections are in a split captaincy kind of a template, but yeah, for Hardik Pandya, if he gets consistent results for him, there's nothing more important at that right now to show that he's capable enough to handle this, T20 squad.
Yeah, one dilemma that he has is the top of the order. I mean, it might not be a dilemma for him, but for me, it's a dilemma because I know Shubman Gill has been outstanding in the one-day format. But if you see his T20 record, thoda sa, he's been slow. He's not been able to capitalize on his starts. Also, his strike rate bhi theek hai, utna khas nahi. He's not done anything bad, but someone like a Prithvi Shaw banging down the door, smashing it in all formats. His Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. Let's take his Ranchi Trophy aside where he hit 360, 370. Just look at his Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy record, and it's been outstanding this year. His strike rate has been ridiculous, and he's a dasher. Now, with Gaikwad ruled out, Prithvi Shaw is your backup opener. He's going to be, if something happens to the current openers or if they're not formed, he'll be your guy to come in. But it looks like he's going to be waiting. But what would you do? Would you continue with Shubman Gill, Ishan Kishan, who's also been struggling, not struggling in the sense that he hasn't had that many big scores as Ishan Kishan. So, what would you do? Which opening pair would you go with? Because I think that's the only place you have a question.
See, for me, it will not be between Shubman Gill right now because Shubman Gill has been showing consistent form. I know we have the press conference that Rohit Sharma mentioned, bhai, we will not look at different formats and stuff like that, but clearly that's not the way it's going. Ishan Kishan has a cemented sort of a position in this team because he's only the one who's been playing consistent when you compare him to a Jitesh Sharma. So Ishan Kishan and Shubman Gill is the only way I will look at it for at least the first T20I. I know Prithvi Shaw record speaks for it a lot. He doesn't have a lot of T20 international. I think he's just played one. And also, yeah, like he has a very good strike rate in the power play. उन्हें जबरदस्त accelerate करता उसके जैसे कोई नहीं है. But we also know that he's prone to getting out early as well. So I think for now, if I was Hardik Pandya, I would be looking at the best options that I have in terms of a form. Form wise, I think Ishan is not the best. The only reason I'm going to back him is because he's wicket keeping. That's it right now. And Shubman Gill because he has his 200 and hundreds and 50s. So I think that's the only reason I'm looking at it. Otherwise, if you're going to go with a Jitesh Sharma, would you bring Prithvi Shaw in? I don't think right now that would be the call.
I would put Prithvi Shaw and Ishan Kishan open in the batting. I would bench Shubman Gill. I know it's a big call, but I would do that just because I'm looking at the T20 format. And you're completely right, कि भाई Prithvi Shaw को उतना experience है नहीं, like in the sense on the international level and all that. But he has played international cricket. He's played test matches also. For me, it's getting into that rhythm. Let him play on that India level. Let him play against New Zealand, against some good bowlers. Might not be New Zealand's best team, but he'll be playing against some good quality bowlers. And let him attack, and he'll bring something different to India. It'll be high risk cricket, and I think Shubman Gill already is certain cemented in the test in one day. Let him focus on that. It doesn't mean that he can't play T20s. Of course, he can play, but I'm always looking at Shubman Gill maybe in the middle order in T20s, or even if he's opening. I don't know. You could play him. I mean, in my opinion, if I'm looking at it, go with two batsmen who smash it from ball one, and that's Ishan Kishan. Prithvi Shaw, go all out attack. That's the way I would.
Yeah, and another differential factor probably would only I'm not sure is Prithvi Shaw left-handed or right-handed. He's right-handed.
Yeah, Prithvi Shaw is right-handed, bro.
He's not right-handed, right? So yeah, then there's no differential. And maybe even like if I come to think about it, Shubman Gill also not played a lot of T20Is, and his average is around 19 right now in 320Is. So like उतना बड़े मसला नहीं. The only thing is recency form and recency bias के basis पे अगर शुभमन गिल gets it in, or you could probably do something weird. But like, would you bring Jitesh Sharma, start Shubman Gill and Prithvi Shaw? Maybe. I don't think
No,
that's
I would go Ishan
not
Kishan,
that happen.
Tishan,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that's what I would do. But let's see what Shubman Gill does, because now he's like you said, he has a lot of confidence. उसके पास double 100 है one day में. अब वहाँ पे भी मतलब जो accelerate किया था उसका strike rate अच्छा ही था like one day में. So if he can implement that in the T20 shorter format from ball one, and he does it successfully, then Shubman Gill will be your consistent opener in all formats. Then maybe that's what he wants. He wants to be your main guy in every single format. He wants to be the next Virat Kohli for India, the guy who is going to take the mantle and take India forward, basically. So, अगर वैसा कैसे he does manage to play at a healthy strike rate, then Shubman Gill is your boy.
Yeah, bilkul. And I think also Shubman Gill, yeah, confidence है, and the way he's going about his intent in batting, he is showing an aggressive approach. जबरदस्त दिख रहा वो भी मेरे को कि भाई is no more that guy who was people were saying कि power play के बाद slow हो जा रहा है. In fact, yeah, he is soaking up, but more than enough उन्हें बना ले रहा strike rate वापस आजकल at least. Secondly, अगर मैं देख लूँ कि भाई I know for a fact पे पृथ्वी शॉ का एक मैच तो inevitable है. He will be playing one match for sure. Let it be anything, because I know उसको back करने वाले based on what he has performed in the Ranchi and his given his track record in the Syed Mushtaq Ali. So एक तो है उसके ऊपर. I think this is Shubman Gill's test. ईशान किशन का वही चार. The only thing I see is that wicket keeping thing is keeping him well in this tournament.
Yeah, but Dr. Foodie is asking me to wipe the camera, so I'll jump off and come back on.
Yeah, no, I think it's just the fog or something. Maybe it's a bit unclear, but however, yeah, the news that Mustafa was basically coming, I probably may have a lot of people thinking that Ruturaj Gaikwad, even here, Ruturaj Gaikwad has been sidelined due to a wrist injury, which keeps him away from the entire tournament. पूरे tournament के बाद, again Mustafa like Ruturaj की बात कर रहा था मैं. Ruturaj Gaikwad injury हो गई wrist की just before again. I mean, how much do you be feeling, man, as a cricketer? Every time you come this close and like आपको injury हो जा रही है, कुछ तो भी हो रहा है आपका. Yeah, it's just sad to see him, get injured.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm having this argument with Prithvi Shaw because Gaikwad's not there. Otherwise, you can easily tell me why Gaikwad has been knocking on the door even longer. He's had a even more exceptional domestic, Syed Mushtaq Ali and all that. He's been scoring runs regularly. He's won Chennai the IPL. I think he was the top scorer in 2021 when Chennai won that trophy. आपका Gaikwad main player था T20s में. He's very proven, especially in the domestic circuit. Like an unfortunate man, he's got injured. I think it's wrist injury, if I'm not mistaken. We don't know how long it's going to take, but I hope he gets back soon. And all I can say is just unfortunate, nothing more. Like, I feel bad for him. He's been knocking on the door. He's been playing consistent cricket. He's doing well for himself, scoring runs. And just when maybe you thought he might get a game in this series, unfortunately, he has to miss out completely. But one man's trash is another man's come up, and that's when Prithvi Shaw comes into the building. And if he gets the opportunity, especially if India win the first two T20s, then I'll definitely push for Shaw in that third match. I definitely feel that we'd see him in that third match. So he will get that opportunity, and let's see how it does. He just brings something different, right? Faiz, agar aap dekhe, he's not. He's going to go from ball one. He's going to attack like Virender Sehwag type. I'm not trying to make comparisons, but if you see the style of play, matlab ball one se maro. डरो मत बॉलर से जो भी बॉलर है मारो आउट हो गए तो आउट होके चले जाओ पवेलियन को. That's something that I like to see, especially in T20 cricket.
Yeah, but here also like we have two of those now, right? We have Surya Kumar also in the middle order who's like that, how todo chale jao. So I mean, balance to देखेंगे. It will be a very big call अगर Prithvi Shaw को ले लिए, and I think that would also be a way to sort of indicate to the dressing room कि भाई आप फॉर्म में भी रहे कुछ भी रहे. It's not कि आपकी sort of जगह cemented है. We're looking at raw talent. We're looking at each format very एक जबरदस्त क्या बोलते उसको radar से कि भाई it's not just about you making consistent runs, but also what you're bringing to the table apart from runs. Just not giving them that security, So it might be a good call also अगर शुभमन गिल को बिठाए and पृथ्वी शॉ को लाए. लोगों को डरा के भी रखता और उम्मीद भी जग जाती थोड़े लोगों में.
पृथ्वी शॉ का क्या मतलब, he's more of a bludgeoner, whereas Surya Kumar, he's I was reading an article today on Cricket Info. They had a great article why Surya Kumar is the number one batsman. Is the range of shots and like timing. It's that, right? Like he has different shots. He's not someone who will come and smash it, but his timing it looks like he's smashing it, but it looks really good. It doesn't look like he's bludgeoning, coming वो हथौड़ा के साथ आके forward. I think Prithvi Shaw is more like that, whereas Surya Kumar is somebody की भाई elegant, He
Elegant.
has so many options. उसको यहाँ पे भी मार सकता है, यहाँ पे भी मार सकता है, ऊपर नीचे हर जगह मार सकता है. He's that kind of player. So he's a bit different in that sense. But yes, when it comes to strike rates, he's that. उन्हें भी नहीं रुकता. उन्हें भी like he'll try to score off every single delivery. And the talent that he has that many people don't is that he has 3-4 shots for every single delivery. तो उस हिसाब से उसका range इतना open हो जाता है and makes it easier for him to score runs. And that's why he gets out as well. He gets out quickly also because where he needs to put a shot away, he'll play that shot and take a risk and he'll get out. Mr. Surya Kumar.
How do you look at the bowling? Like, we don't have Siraj, we don't have Shami, but we have Umran Malik, we have Arshdeep, and Shubham Mavi, and
That's
Mukesh
your
Kumar.
bowling.
Do you think Mukesh Kumar is going to get an opportunity this
He
series?
might get a game. He might get a game in the 30-20, but I would start off with Mavi, Arshdeep, and Umran Malik and take it from there. And again, if you need to rotate Umran or Arshdeep, you can do that with Mukesh Kumar. I hope that I get to see him also because, when you're in and around the squad, if you get an opportunity, it does help you develop as a player. And that experience playing for India is no doubt going to be a great one. So if Mukesh Kumar does get an opportunity, it'll be good. But I think initially, Shiva Mavi, Arshdeep, Umran, फिर आपका spinner Kuldeep मेरे हिसाब से, and Washington Sundar will be your other spinner if I'm not mistaken. तो
Yeah.
आपके 5 bowler यही है.
Yeah,
अक्षर
bowlers
पटेल
तो है,
नहीं है
but
शायद अभी.
yeah, Akshar Patel is छुट्टी पे.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see Kuldeep bhai back in the squad. And yeah, अब Deepak who, so how are you looking at this 11 of India? कैसा, if for tomorrow, let's just stick to tomorrow, obviously. What would your ideal 11 be?
My 11 or what they will go with?
Your ideal 11. There will go. We'll find out that. What do
Prithvi
you
Shaw,
think?
Ishan Kishan, Rahul Tripathi, Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Deepak Huda, Washington Sundar, Shivam Mavi, Arshdeep, Umran, and Kuldeep Yadav. That's your 11, bro. So yeah, I think they will. I think they will go with a similar one. Instead, they will probably go Shubman instead of Prithvi Shaw. That's what they will do. I think Huda will play at 6. He'll give you that extra batting option, and if needed, he can bowl in the power play. And Sundar at 7 is a safe bet. We know he has the shots in his locker.
Kuldeep will also there who can bat.
So Kuldeep can bat, Mavi can bat also. Mavi भी 2-3 छक्के मार सकता है अगर होना तो. You have enough batting. That leaves you Umran and Arshdeep as your tail. So I think this is how they should go. And yeah, I'm just looking at personnel is a bit different, but the bowlers to batsman ratio, I think they should go with that and give Huda position at number 6.
Yeah, hopefully they give him bowling also.
But
But bowlers काफी है in this squad.
yeah,
पांच
no,
bowlers है.
yeah, I think Panch bowlers अच्छा रहेगा. Washington Sundar is someone I'm going to keep a very keen eye on because I know now he's getting into rhythm. Now he's getting a stretch of games. नहीं तो उसका भी यही scene रहता था. Injured हो जाता था, वापस आता था, and all that. But now he's getting into rhythm, and now it's I want to see him take the responsibility, especially with the ball. And when he gets opportunity with the bat, he has the shots. I'm not worried about his batting more with the ball. Punter is in the house. How are you doing? Will Mavi get a run? Yes, I think he will. He played in the Sri Lanka series as well, and I think he'll continue. Mukesh Kumar might have to sit out as the fast bowler, and they'll go Mavi, Arshdeep, and Umran. I think that's what India will do, in my opinion. Hardik Pandya will go with this kind of squad. The player that I'm really looking forward to seeing is Rahul Tripathi. Man, I really enjoyed that innings where he hit 30 of 18 or 19 against Sri Lanka, and जब सूर्य कुमार फोड़ दिया था 100. वो match में it was Rahul Tripathi who took India out of that hole because I think Shubman and Ishan Kishan really slowed down the scoring. Yeah. And this guy came in, he accelerated, and then when Surya Kumar, the platform was set and he scored a sensational 100. But I'm excited to see Rahul Tripathi. Of course, I have the Sunrisers bias. उन्हें भी यही है कि भाई उन्हें डरता नहीं shots खेलने के लिए. मतलब ball one से अगर early wicket भी चले गया, he's going to utilize the power play. If there's a platform set, he'll still utilize and try to up the strike rate. He's not someone who's going to consume too many deliveries unless he's struggling. Again, if he's struggling, if the bowler has the better of him, it's different. But he will always look to score and push the scoring, and that's why I really like Tripathi at 3.
Yeah, and Tripathi also, like you said, I mean, it was just his second game that he started accelerating. He gave signs of confidence. Obviously, unfortunate, जिस तरीके से उन्हें out हुआ, उन्हें खुद चिढ़ के irritated हो गया था because 50s were on the card for him on that match. But he will be definitely looking. I'm looking for Arshdeep, man. Arshdeep के लिए, I wish I know it's like he's a T20 specialist and stuff, but he's not had the best of matches in the recent times with Sri Lanka. He was struggling. But for me, I need this guy to be in form. He's one death overs में उन्नीस रहने वाला है. I don't know who your other death bowler, if there is, probably Umran will bowl in the middle over and finish off. So who do you look as the second option?
Yeah, I think Umran will bowl. 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 I think Umran will आपके Shivam will bowl in the death or Hardik Pandya, Mr. Captain can bowl in the death as
Pandya
well.
will be a better call, I think, because Shivamavi has the tendency probably to get smacked because lot of इतने variations नहीं हैं and speed भी slow है ना boy में अभी तो I guess
नहीं
Pandya would be
तेजी है उन्हें अभी I think
उतना
देखो
नहीं
उन्हें
है तो
सीखी
130 128 I think.
Mavi used to bowl 140 maybe after his injury, he used, I think. But लेकिन Shivam Mavi, he of course उन्हें पिट तो सकता. There's always that risk, but you need to develop him, right? He's a young bull. Give him that chance. Of course, Hardik Pandya is your better option right now because he's more experienced. लेकिन I don't mind seeing Umran Malik and Mavi bowling at the death either. Tell them to nail those yorkers. Try to get them mature. If they get hit, they get hit, no problem. But that's how you're going to develop, right? As a bowler, if you're going to be put in those situations, if you're protecting two youngsters, both Mavi and Umran Malik, from bowling at the death just because they don't have experience, then you're not doing them any justice or any favor. You have to put them in that situation. Let them get hit. If they get hit, no problem. You lose the game. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होंगे bilateral हारेंगे आप. It's fine. But put them. How are you going to develop these players? By putting them in these situations. This Arshdeep Kaur, they put him in the
Put him in
firing
the
line,
firing.
and why did they do that? Because they didn't have an option. Just Bumrah wasn't there in the Asia Cup and the World Cup. So similarly, you have to do this with Umran and Mavi. I know Umran, even in the IPL, he doesn't pull too much in the depth. So maybe go with Mavi. Then if they do get it, you always have Hardik Pandya as your option. Hardik Pandya is someone that I feel that he can nail his Yorkers. He has a good wide Yorker on him. He's a good change-up, a good short ball also. So he has the variations to bowl in the death. So I'm not too worried about the death. Of course, it's not the safest death options right now. But I'm not too worried about it. I feel it's a good developing, good learning curve when they bowl at the death, especially in this series against New Zealand.
न्यूजीलैंड के पास आएंगे छोड़ दो अब इंडिया को बहुत ज्यादा डिस्कस कर दी न्यूजीलैंड हैव अनदर कैप्टन नाउ अंडर द थिंग मिचेल स्टैंटनर एंड यू नो थोड़ा बहुत काम टेम्परामेंट का बंदा है डजंट लुक वेरी एग्रेसिव but how do you see him performing as a captain and how do you rate this New Zealand squad that there is?
I think he's won his last few series as captain. Also, Santner has been in great form with the bat and ball in
personally,
T20s. So, like when you have that confidence, it's a bit easier. You're not worried about your own performance. You're able to focus more on the team. You look at your options. What do you have? Again, I think the bowling is a bit inexperienced. There is a left arm seamer coming in. What is his name, man? I'll get you his name right now. But he's going to be that replacement for Trent Bolt, along with they have Tickner and Ferguson also. So I'm excited to see him and how Santner uses him.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Benjamin, right?
Yeah, Ben. What's his name? Ben something.
Benjamin Lister.
Yeah, Ben Lister. Yeah. So he has the best economy in the Super Smash. I know it's New Zealand domestic; it's not as competitive, but he has the best economy over there. I think 6 point something. I was reading an article today, and he has a really good economy, very good variations. He has a lot of tricks. According to some of his teammates, he has a lot of tricks, and so I'm excited to see how he plays. But yeah, if I look at Santner, he will be a bit worried in terms of bowling depth. He doesn't have Sadi. Of course, Bolt is not there also. Then in the batting order, Williamson's experience is not there, but they still have a very exciting batting team. It's about the likes of Glenn Phillips and Mitchell coming to the party, in the middle order. And if Conway, Finn Allen is there as well, if I'm not mistaken, if they're getting those starts and playing some aggressive cricket, hopefully their form can turn after a poor one-day series. It's a shorter format. So they have more license to smash and take more risks. So I hope that in log acha start agar diye to New Zealand have the batting, and they're playing against a different bowling attack. There's no Siraj Shafi here. So I think they will have an advantage. It might be less challenging for them. So I won't be surprised if New Zealand do well in this series.
Yeah, and I think a lot of expectations will be there from Finn Allen, who's not been able to fire from the top. Obviously, उसके दो balls to inside edges were, I think one was of Pandya recently, and he's not been able to get starts. He's not been able to be in that firing line. And Devon Conway अभी century मारा, maybe good confidence, but Finn Allen is one player that you will always be worried about, because अगर उन्हें शुरू कर दिया भाई तो फिर मसले हो जाते. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Finn Allen.
फिन आयरलैंड में अगर शुरू कर दिया तो खत्म, मतलब उसका स्ट्राइक रेट जबरदस्त था, मगर वो कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं लेके आ रहा है जो हम देखे दैट इनिंग्स ही स्कोर्ड अगेंस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलिया, वही इनिंग मेरे को याद आ रही उस, और एक पाकिस्तान के अगेंस्ट ट्राई सीरीज में आई थिंक. Apart from that, I haven't seen much from Finn Allen. It's about getting that start, but then converting that start into a big score. I have not seen that from him, and that's what I want to see. Look at Conway. Conway is also a brilliant hitter of the ball. If he wants, he can smash every single delivery out of the ground. But he looks to develop his starts and convert it into a big one. And this is Punter Singh Finalen has the talent, but why not able to perform? It's because he's trying to be a bit too aggressive. And now, in the one days, I think he got confused. Should I take time? Should I not take time? Maybe he was
Exactly.
going against his natural instinct and confused. Okay, out ho ja raha tha. But in general, I think also subcontinent conditions. This is like maybe the first or second time he's getting exposed to these conditions in India. I'm saying. So I think maybe that's another reason. We've seen him in down under New Zealand, Australia have been brilliant, but these conditions are maybe not as familiar for him. So it'll take time for him to adjust to these conditions. I know it's been a while now, but यही हो सकता. वाह हिट मैन लवर. देखो हिट तस्वीर रोहित की है, नाम रोहित का है, मगर पूछ रहे बाबर और विराट who is best.
I mean, I think he's just going based on records and number of runs right now. So yeah, and Rohit Sharma काफी बेचारा injured रहता, so I don't think he's got that many games under his belt. But yeah, Virat Kohli, because he's a match winner, he is a proven match winner. कैसा भी उन्हें match खत्म करके लाके देता है at number 3, and Babar Bhai also comes at number 3 sometimes he comes open, but Babar Bhai is unable to close the gap. So I think वो problem है between Virat and
Bro,
Babar, and Virat has done it everywhere.
he got he's done it everywhere. So the thing with the Babar Azam, how did he get the Garfield Sobers Award, man? I understand one day cricket of the award, उसके stats है ये वो. The Garfield Sobers मतलब the ICC Cricketer of the Year.
No, Cricketer of the Year is Ben Stokes.
Can you double check?
Just
Because it said he got the Garfield Sober Award, Mr. Babar Azam, and he got the one day cricketer.
Ben Stokes has been named ICC Men's Test Cricketer of the Year.
I want to know
Babar
Garfield
Azam
Sobers
collected
Award.
Sir Garfield Sobers Trophy awarded ICC Men's Cricketer of the Year. Damn, that's Babar Azam for you.
Yeah, यही तो बोल रहा हूँ मैं भाई. अब उसको किस बेसिस पे दीजिए मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा. One day cricketer of the year, ठीक है, stats wise आप दे सकते. I know he got Pakistan to the final, everything, but अगर बाबर का मैं देखा, I don't know if he's deserving of the ICC Cricketer of the Year. He'll probably be there in terms of individual runs, stats, up and around that. But to give him the Cricketer of the Year, I don't know, man. What do you think? थोड़ा dodgy दिख रहा है मेरे को तो. लास्ट शाइन को दिया, I agreed with that. लास्ट शाइन अफरीदी को दिया, बहुत जबरदस्त डाला था उन्हें हिला दिया था. He made Pakistan beat India. हाँ
बोलो. हिला दिया था शाइन.
अरे वो नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, लाइक मतलब
मालूम है हिला दिया शाइन.
अब उन्हें हिलाता नहीं रहता मेरे को क्या मालूम, मगर वो मतलब सबको तो शाइन was deserving because he really shocked the world. If you don't tell me in English, just उर्दू में हिला दिए, मतलब shaken up the Indian audience.
country हो गया था.
Because basically he Pakistan के लिए record करा, तो because of his spell India were knocked out of the World Cup, and the first time Pakistan beat India in the World Cup. And Babar Azam had a part to play there as well, and he led his side to the semi-finals. Here he led his side to the finals, but Garfield Sober is the award उसको देना मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा भाई.
But एक ही tournament था ना, I think एक ही tournament था, and Asia Cup final में कौन थे? Sri Lanka beat Pakistan.
हाँ, उसमें भी हारे.
He got into 2 finals.
तो
runs wise देख रहे होंगे अभी. अच्छा ठीक है, बाबर को एक मिनट बाबर को छोड़ दो. Who would you put in that category apart from Babar Azam? Like Babar Azam को हटा ही देंगे. Who else do you think would be worthy of it in that aspect? Who else?
Ben Stokes is a better option for me. I think
Ben
he's
Stokes
been outstanding.
won the T20 World Cup, but his runs are nothing in the T20 World in any of the year. He's not played a lot of cricket when you compare it to a Babar Azam.
Bro, he invented baseball. They changed the whole test cricket. Everything changed. They won 9 test matches in a row.
Baseball has been coming from like Ian Morgan era. I mean, they just implemented much more here now.
भाई टेस्ट क्रिकेट में कौन खेलते हैं साहब, मेरे को बताओ. ऐसा कोई भी नहीं.
ब्रेंडन मैकलम का भी हाथ है उसमें. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into that.
They beat New Zealand, India, South Africa, and then they beat Pakistan in Pakistan. Babar Azam lost to Australia at home this past year. Lost to England at home in T20s and in Test cricket, and then he lost to New Zealand in the one day series at home, and he drew at home. कौन सा आप क्या बोल रहे हैं खाली?
अब मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पे,
लेके आपको फाइनल
क्रिकेटर ऑफ द ईयर क्या क्राइटेरिया गेज कर रहे, राइट? Are they looking at from a team perspective or an individual stats performances? Now that's what we have to understand. That अगर ICC cricketer of the year specifically put it, then that goes with individual performances as well, which Ben Stokes doesn't have.
बटलर को दो उसको दो, किसी को भी दो भाई. इसको कैसा दे रहे जब उन्हें like he's scoring runs and losing calls.
100%, but again that is a cricketer specifying to a single individual who is performing consistently, and that is why he is there, because he has been making runs. We all know that कितने hundreds बनाया उन्हें, 1000 runs तो खाली I think test या ODIs में बनाया उन्हें ये साल. So I think that is enough.
वैसे तो विराट कोहली के ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट 100 से इंपॉर्टेंट नॉक्स थे, वैसा देखे जाए तो ये 2021
वही तो बोल रहा हूं, इंपॉर्टेंट नॉक्स नहीं देख रहे ना यहाँ पे. They're not gauging it like that. I think they're just gauging it based on numbers.
तो रिजवान के रन्स होंगे ज्यादा, रिजवान भी उन्हें
होंगे बोल रहा है, वो देखना पड़ेगा ना, वरना तो कुछ रिसर्च करे होंगे डाल के अपन, फिर we can actually we'll do a thing on this.
Bro, if you say batsman of the year, one day batsman of the year, you're looking at the runs, you're looking at the average. I understand. This is cricketer of the year. Cricketer doesn't mean batsman or it doesn't mean runs only. Just look at the definition. The cricketer of the year, who's made the impact for you as a cricketer, who has taken, you tell me, has Babar Azam been your favorite cricketer this year? Has he been the guy you always want to see?
See, Babar was the only batter to pass 2,000 international runs across 3 formats, averaging 54.12 with 800 runs, and also led Pakistan to the finals of Asia and the T20 World Cup. This is what is the justification. So that is my I think that if someone is making 2,000 runs, it's not a joke, man. Honestly, that is something spectacular with a 54 average. You have to give it to the guy. That is again your way of looking at things. That's ICC's way of looking
give him the batsman of the year. Give him the batsman of the test batsman of the year.
Two finals as well, right?
क्या 2 finals भाई? एक तो एशिया कप का तो मैं हार गए उन लोग, ठीक है, वो दूसरा फाइनल नेदरलैंड्स के लिए के वजह से आए, तो मैं नहीं काउंट कर रहा हूँ. मैं नहीं काउंट कर रहा हूँ भाई. अब मैं बोल रहा हूँ उसको बैट्समैन ऑफ द ईयर दे दो आप. वनडे T20 जो भी टेस्ट जो भी उन्हें मारा उसको दे दो बैट्समैन. क्रिकेटर ऑफ द ईयर भाई थोड़ा पर्सनालिटी.
देखो अगर अपन वैसा देख रहे हैं, आईसीसी टेस्ट क्रिकेटर ऑफ द ईयर बेन स्टोक्स को दिए, राइट? बेन स्टोक्स का आई थिंक उसको 870 रन्स मारा उन्हें, 26 विकेट्स या 20 दैट इज इट. बट हाउ विल यू लाइक देन हाउ विल यू गिव टू Babar? I think
he also scored the winning.
They're trying to make it fair. वही तो बोला, they're trying to make it fair probably in that aspect कि भाई सबको खुश कर दो. But आप खुश नहीं है तो आपको नहीं खुश करे, सबको नहीं करे. ICC को कॉल करना मैं.
भाई आप जो मेरे को बोल रहे स्टैट्स ये वो एज अ बैट्समैन आप अवार्ड दे दो, मैं कहाँ मना कर रहा हूँ आपको. आप क्रिकेटर ऑफ द ईयर बोल रहे. क्रिकेटर ऑफ द ईयर कुछ लाइक यू नो मतलब प्रॉपर पूरा ऑलराउंड इम्पैक्ट देखो आप. एज कैप्टन भी देख लो आप, एज डिफरेंट फॉर्मेट्स भी देख लो. उन्होंने नई रन बनाया T20 में, मगर फाइनल में कौन खड़ा हुआ, आपको ट्रॉफी कौन जिताया? बेन स्टोक्स जिताया वहां पे ठहर के. Played a crazy spell. ठीक है, whatever it was a crazy spell of Naseem Shah. He was your match winner. So he is the cricketer of the year. Even if you don't want to give it to Ben Stokes, give it to somebody else, bro. But Babar Azam, individual records. Cricketer of the year, I don't know. I don't personally agree. That's just my opinion. Root is in. Let me just take this. Hitman lover, bhai. Thank you so much for joining. Your thoughts on upcoming BGT? Who will score highest runs from India?
For me, I'm looking at Hitman. Hitman is going to get in there after a long time in the test. He's not having a lot of test match runs right now. And Hitman lover के लिए मैं बोलूँगा Hitman. Hitman is going to be my man to watch out for, because Rohit Sharma, if he gets going, Indian pitches पे उसके जैसा batsman कोई नहीं है.
I think that's a very good shout. Again, I don't know what the pitches are going to be. If it's going to be turn friendly, we're not going to see many runs. If it's going to be like spinning from ball one, अगर rank turners
ड्रामा रहने वाला है भाई, खाली ड्रामा रहने वाला है, फिर तो स्पिन अगर आ तो.
ये तो I'm going with KL Rahul. Man just coming off from a wedding, he's in a good mental space now and coming on confidence, and yeah, I'm banking on Mr. KL Rahul because he's going to play, I think, the first game. I would play Shubman Gill, but he's going to play. Root is in form. Virat is back to form. Steve Smith and Kane are making centuries. Are we going to see the Fab Four era again? I think the Fab Four era is still going on. It hasn't finished yet. It hasn't stopped also. Even when Virat Kohli wasn't scoring runs, Kane was smashing double hundreds, Root was smashing double hundreds, and Kohli and Smith were kind of quiet. Now Kohli and Smith are smashing it. Maybe you can say Kane and Root are a bit quiet. So the era is never done. I think the era is still continuing, and you're going to see these guys another couple of years, at least at the end of next year, hopefully. That's or end of this year.
I think Kane also made a century. I think Kane also made a century, and he's also been consistent. But yeah, I think it's back for Virat Kohli. I think Virat Kohli के ऊपर BJT का pressure ज़्यादा रहेगा because test में उतने he's not been able to get going. So I'm just waiting for Virat to catch form in the test format. Yes, sir.
Well, Sam Curran could have been an option also, huh? Cricketer of the year, I was just thinking. But Butler saying for me, cricketer of the year could have been Butler. I think they don't take IPL in consideration, just ICC matches, international matches. So
yeah,
exactly. If you take IPL into consideration, then Butler, without a doubt, took the captaincy and won it. But also in that captaincy, he didn't play that series against Pakistan, the away series. Also, He lost 2 home series back to back against India and South Africa at home. So, yeah, he had one amazing tournament.
But Sam
But
Curran is
apart from that,
actually a good shout. Sam Curran that you said, it
but
is a good
again,
shot because
उन्होंने टेस्ट
but
में होता टेस्ट में
नहीं
खेला
करा
होता
नहीं
नहीं
खेला नहीं
खेला
खेला
भाई
नहीं खेला
या
नहीं
तो
खेला
Ben Stokes, bro. Virat against spin is poor. Yeah, man, look, he struggles
very
against
good.
left arm spin these days, also with leg spinners. But I think Virat Kohli is a champion player. He will definitely work on that. And even if it's a challenging pitch, I think we're gonna see a big Virat Kohli score in this Test series. One at least, I think, even on a tough pitch, because Virat Kohli loves playing on tough pitches. If you see it in the South Africa tours, Australia on Perth mein mara tha century, if I'm not mistaken. And South Africa, maybe it was Joburg or Cape Town. Cape Town, I think, where he scored 150. And that was a very spicy pitch. So, I think where he hasn't scored a big 100 is on a ranked runner. And I think this is the time. This is the series for Virat Kohli to score 100. भाई ऐसी T20 में मैच क्यों नहीं है अब? इसलिए भाई कल से साउथ अफ्रीका और इंग्लैंड की वनडे सीरीज है, 3 मैचेस है, तो ब्रेक चल रहा है अभी 6-7 दिन का. ये 6 मैच में 6 दिन में निपटा देंगे पूरी सीरीज. Every 2 days there's going to be a game, or every other day there's going to be a game, and then next Thursday se T20 will resume. Sai bhai,
Yeah.
will you back Gill over KL in Test? I would.
Yeah, even I would, because Gill has been knocking on the doors. But again, based on Rohit Sharma's press conference of not crossing formats, I don't think they'll do that. And KL Rahul can wicket keep, so Ishan Kishan ki bhi jagah chali aayegi.
Did you see Rohit Sharma's response to the question about scoring 100 after 3 years?
Yeah, he said no. हाँ, ये क्या बोल रहे हो 3 साल में? Get your facts right. आप लोग जब ये ब्रॉडकास्ट करते हो, आप लोग देख समझ के ब्रॉडकास्ट करो. मैं 3 साल में से 12 या 13 ODIs खेला हूँ, if I'm not wrong.
हाँ, 6-7 मैंने लॉकडाउन थे, फिर मैं टेस्ट मैच भी 2 ही खेला. T20 में तो खाली सूर्या मार रहा 100, so कोई नहीं मार रहे, तो वैसा बोलता. I mean, what he was saying was right, factually. He wasn't saying anything wrong, but it was cool to see him a bit.
But I'm really happy with his comeback. I mean, the way he's come back, he scored a century, 50, 80. मारा, फिर 30 for इंटेंट जबरदस्त है, aggressive है, he's getting his shots right, pull shots, हर चीज मार रहा उन्हें. तो रोहित शर्मा for me in that BGT will be very, very important, I think.
Rohit Sharma. Yeah, and I think he looked to take on the likes of Lyon and Agar. He's the one who will accelerate even in Test matches, especially if it's going to be a ranked runner. India will look to score quickly, I feel, and that's where Rohit Sharma will have to set the tone. He's the captain. He's the opening batsman. He'll read the pitch first, along with his partner, who will probably be KL Rahul, and he can dictate on how his team wants to play with the way he approaches it. I remember against England, he had a swashbuckling 160-70, I think. Punter remembers that game, and so it was the second Test match between India and England in 2021. So usme it was a ranked runner. He's the only guy who got like 175, 174, and the game finished quickly. But he was the guy who took down the likes of Leach and Root and everybody. So Rohit Sharma has that ability to dictate the pace of the game. Rohit versus Shaheen in 2023 World Cup. Right now, Shaheen has the upper hand on all three of them, bro. Apart from Virat Kohli, I think he has the upper hand on KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma.
अभी बस injury के बाद से we'll have to see what is anything affected his speed or not, because we did feel that in the T20 World Cup पे थोड़ी इसकी speed कम हो रही थी, but again he was not fully recovered, and अब जब जाके he's feeling much better. And then for me it's not even Shaheen, it's not Shaheen, bro, it's Naseem Shah for me. He is the best bowler right now for Pakistan.
Yeah, but fully fit, Shaheen Shah
fully
really
fit
gives you that
Shaheen,
left
yeah.
angle,
Wow,
and
first
that
ball
angle,
at first over,
and he has a bit more experience in that way also. And that left arm angle, nobody is comfortable with, bro. Like, I understand Naseem Shah, like, of course, pace bhi aap comfortable nahi hai, magar I feel there's going to be some flat wickets where Naseem Shah will get a pelting, whereas Shaheen, I think he can be accurate on those pitches also. But I agree with you, Naseem Shah right now is probably the best bowler going around in the circuit. What are your thoughts on teams in women's IPL getting 12 crore purse? I mean, 12 crore purse, matlab, kitna ringa? Yeah, that's little, man. How much is the men's purse? 12 crore is very little. That's my thoughts. I think there should be more. 12 crore में क्या मिलेगा भाई? मतलब 20-30 crore का. Huh?
5 teams है ना Mustafa, so there are not a lot of teams also. That's why if you think about it, it's okay. 12 crore purse, because in the men's we have 10.
Then you increase the purse if there's not a lot of teams. Because then,
but then again, how many players are ready to play? I mean, everybody will be ready to play, but how many players do you have? I don't know. For example, कितने pot में है क्या है?
It's too little.
But, and then how are they going to price it and stuff like that? So I think, and also they're getting paid equal to the men. So I think उधर भी खर्चा चला रहा थोड़ा.
पर इसमें ज्यादा पैसे डालो भाई, बहुत कम है वो। आईसीसी एम्पायर ऑफ द ईयर नितिन मेनन को क्यों नहीं मिला?
अरे
क्यों
भाई
नहीं मिला?
नितिन, मेरे क्या मालूम, नितिन भाई, नितिन पासी को देना था, नितिन मेनन को नहीं।
क्यों नहीं मिला? किसको मिला अंपायर ऑफ द ईयर? He is not that good in death over. Who are you talking about, Mr. Hitman? Are you talking about Shaheen?
रोहित
I mean,
शर्मा।
yeah, like उसने पिट गया था ऑस्ट्रेलिया के against भी in the T20 World Cup semi-final in Dubai, and also against India. Virat Kohli, I think he started his attack on Shaheen in the death overs. So death overs में issue हो सकता है, but if you also remember that Australia game, catch drop हुआ था Hassan Ali. So it's not that Hassan Ali dropped a catch. It's not that Shaheen is not good in the death. Sometimes he loses his calm a bit. He becomes a bit nervous. But if he sticks to his strengths, then he can be good in the death. But you don't really need him. If he can bowl in the power play, maximize the new ball, then he'll always, a few overs in the middle, or you can finish him before the death and stick with Haris Rauf and Naseem as your death overs if you want.
हम्म। You were asking what
Ranchi sir.
Empire of the Year? नितिन मेनन, नितिन मेनन नहीं है। I think रिचर्ड इलिंगवर्थ को मिला, I think if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, what about Kettlebra? So
डेविड
yeah, I
शेपर्ड,
mean,
डेविड शेपर्ड की ट्रॉफी।
मैं को नहीं मालूम नितिन मेनन क्यों नहीं मिला. Maybe there's too many DRSs went the other way. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. I don't know why he didn't get it. Sai bhai, I will do some research on that. For South Africa versus England, who are you looking at over there? It's going to be a good one-day series, I hope. And Jofra Archer is back. Mark Wood is not there, but there's still, the likes of Vokes and these guys are coming back for England. You have Butler, Phil Salt, you mentioned also, up against the South African team. So you're excited for this series, and
Yeah, man. I hope it's not like an Australian series, man. I don't want to put my hopes up too high. Okay, bhai. I know we won't have like GABA kind of pitches over here, but I just hope this South Africa side turns up. Zara kuch to bhi karna hai aur maza karna. You have Rabada, Northgate are on fire right now, and they're next level. You have Reece Topley, and definitely Phil Salt that I've already spoken about. Harry Brooks. So yeah, in if you're looking at it in on paper जबरदस्त सीरीज होने वाली है, बट ऑस्ट्रेलिया का भी अपन ये लेके चले के हॉट एंड स्पाइसी, ये जूसी रहने वाला है, वो रहने वाला है, बट इतना सैड शो था. एंड या आई मीन I'm so looking keenly from South Africa's perspective. Actually, I'm looking at Quinton de Kock. I want to see a good, series from Quinton de Kock. Aiden Markram, obviously, I know that's your voice. I'll not choose Aiden Markram because I know you like him a lot. So for me, I'm going to go with Quinton de Kock for this one. And from England's perspective, I mean, you can go with the regulars in Harry Brook and Sam Curran and these guys, but yeah, I think Adil Rashid will be my guy to watch out for.
All right, so let's go into the fantasy pick section. That I'll give you mine for the England, South Africa, and then we'll do the India, New Zealand as well. So I'm hoping South Africa have a better performance because their batting is a bit better, and they're playing at home. So two reasons why I think they have the likes of Markram back. They have David Miller also in the ranks. Van der Dusen has come back. So I feel that their batting is a bit more stacked in this. So and they're playing in home conditions, so I'm expecting a better performance from them.
Well, yeah, a lot of people. Sorry to but a lot of people, like you mentioned, T20 में भी जबरदस्त खेल रहे. So I hope their confidence is high. वही है कि 50 over के format में कैसा देखेंगे. Let's see.
Yeah, and from South Africa, I don't know why you thought I'm going to go Markram. I'm going to go Mr. Anrik Nokia, man. This guy like rattles stumps left, right, and center. So I'm going to go with him. But of course, Markram with the bat and ball is always a very good option. He's a great option, especially in fantasy, because आपको wickets भी ले सकता है, फिर runs भी मारता, and he's in good form now, and he's captaining the Sunrisers, doing well. He has confidence, so Markram is a great shot. I'm just going with Nokia. I think उन्हें wickets ले सकता है ये match में. And from England, I'm going to go my man Harry Brook, man. He's Sunrisers have splashed some money on him, and now this is his time to shine. The owners are also in South Africa, right, for the T20, so they'll probably be having a close eye on Mr. Harry Brooks. So I'll go with him over there. Markram is a very good shout now that I think about it, but Nokia is someone who can rattle the stumps for me.
Yeah, and Norke has been so good in the 2020 format. I think he's giving up like 6 runs, 8 runs, 10 runs. उससे ज़्यादा दे रहा है 4 over में. I mean, obviously you have 10 overs in a 50 over format, but it'll be interesting to see how this guy performs now, based on the confidence that he's great from the T20. Quinton de Kock मेरे लिए जबरदस्त form है अभी हिसाब से, जिस तरीके से उन्हें मार रहा, and he looks more complete. Temba Bavuma did give an interview. However, I will drop the captaincy if the coaches and everybody coaches and everybody want me to, I'll do it. But for now, everybody is backing me, and I'm really dedicated to the South African team. So देखेंगे what Temba Pavuma also does. We know that he has certain shots in him. He is good enough to make a good innings happen, but he's just not getting it going at this point of time.
उसको इसलिए रख रहे हैं, उन्हें ये रीबिल्ड करा। आपको याद है 2 साल पहले साउथ अफ्रीका went
टूट
shambles,
गई थी,
complete
yeah.
shambles, right? Like, everyone saying they're done, and he got them back. He got them back, and like, the likes of Nokia, Rabada, Maharaj, these guys started performing under him. They had impressive performances in World Cups also, barring that Netherlands game and this last World Cup. But if you look at it before that in Dubai and everything, they had some very good performances and bilaterals. They won a test series against India, even though Elgar was captain, but Vuma was part of that. So I think they like him. His teammates, they like him, and it's just about his own individual performance. So there will be pressure on him, and if he doesn't perform in this series, there will be a lot of questions, because there's a big World Cup. You already lost the T20. If South Africa don't make it to the semis, it's going to be a fail, right, for the 50 overs. So
yeah,
if अगर उसका form नहीं चल रहा next 2-3 months में उसको निकाल के, they'll probably make a Miller or Maharaj captain. That's what I feel they'll do. Expect
also one more
to try and assist spin. So according to Ibrahim Bhai, if that he's our local correspondent in South Africa, so if he's saying that, then pick Maharaj and Adil Rashid in your teams.
Yeah.
जी आप बोल रहे थे.
I was saying also I'm also one more player that I'm looking for in England is Ben Duckett. If Ben Duckett gets a start, he's been very interesting to see in Pakistan के against क्या खेल रहा था उन्हें. So one more player that I would like to choose. Like I did choose Adil Rashid, but assisting to spin we had, so Adil Rashid actually works in my favor. But Ben Duckett, man, this guy is some solid talent.
There's a great interview that Yas Rana did with him on Wisden Cricket, just I think a month ago after the Pakistan series, because he was a T20 player who became a Test cricketer thanks to the new baseball and everything. So it's a very good interview. You can read it on the Wisden Cricket, or you can listen to the podcast also, and it's great insight from Ben Duckett. How he kept patient, and he kept those natural instinct, which is aggressive. Beach में, of course, when you're not playing, थोड़ा सा परेशानी होती, but county cricket helped him, and he mentioned a lot of that. So you can check that out on Wisden Cricket. It's a very good read. We want Deccan Chargers back in WIPL. I don't want Deccan Chargers anywhere near in IPL, WIPL, nowhere. Sunrisers is my team, bro. I don't want Deccan Chargers anywhere.
He wants Khalajan Maran with the paddle.
हाँ?
Sunrisers की owner कौन है यार अपने?
आपके खाला होंगे भाई, हमारे थोड़ी है. Bro, no, Deccan Chargers for me, the best thing was their song. Apart from that, the kids weren't that impressive. Yeah, I know they had Gilchrist and all that. Gilchrist was outstanding, but Sunrisers, bro. Prithvi Shaw is back. Sweet. Prithvi Shaw is back. Will he get a chance? I hope he does. I'll put him in my 11, but I don't know if he's going to think so. Fez, your India and New Zealand fantasy picks. One player each.
From India, I will go with Kuldeep Yadav tomorrow. Kuldeep Yadav, and I think Ranchi की थोड़ी wicket spinning रहने वाली है. So I'm going to go with Kuldeep Bhai. Hopefully, he gets another man of the match and another three wicket haul. I'm going to go with Glenn Phillips with New Zealand. I think Glenn Phillips is specialist, and the wicket keeping. I know there's another wicket keeper they have, but I'm pretty sure like Glenn Phillips will play.
You're going to go with Glenn Phillips. I think that's a very good option. Me from India, I'm going to go with Ishan Kishan at the top. And from New Zealand, I'll go I was going to say Finn Allen, but Ashish will take that. I'll go with Conway, something different. Conway. So, yeah, and also in Ranchi, we've seen that bowling first is the best thing to do. I think 17 out of the 25 T20s there, or the matches there, have been won chasing. So I think whoever wins the toss will chase, unless they want to. Hardik Pandya wants to put his bowlers under pressure again or something like that. So yeah, actually going Shaw and Allen. If Shaw plays, I don't think he'll play. I think they'll go with Shubman and Ishan Kishan. I hope that he plays, but I don't think unless there's an injury or last minute thing.
Ibrahim Miller and Butler, that's actually a good shot. Miller has been in fantastic form recently with the T20, and Josh Butler भी दुबई में मौत डाल रहा था अभी. दुबई में नहीं, sorry, दुबई में था.
ऐसे T20 में. He was playing for the Pals.
IL T20 वही IL T20 भी चल रहा था, तो I think वो दिमाग वहाँ चलेगा. Gaikwad has a wrist injury. He has been sent to the NCA. Yeah, वही हम लोग बात कर रहे थे Prem bhai, that that's a very sad sight because he was just coming back. Every time he comes so close to the Indian cricket team, something happens with him. संजू सैमसन कुछ तो भी होते रहता है इन लोगों के साथ. I don't know. I think छुप जाना थोड़े दिन कहीं तो भी जब स्क्वाड अनाउंस होती है अगर इन लोगों का नाम है कहीं दूर जाके छुप जाना इंजरी रोन
भाई
या
कुछ
फ्रजाइल
तो
का
गड़बड़ है,
स्टिकर
उन्हें खेला ही नहीं.
फ्रजाइल का स्टिकर डाल देना शायद.
रांची खेल रहा था आई थिंक उन्हें, मगर बट क्या है यार, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड लाइक these guys getting injured too frequently. It's a concern. It's a concern, man, for the Indian team. I just hope like in a big tournament that like
yeah.
I was just saying I hope in a big tournament this doesn't happen, but like but even the problem is the return from injuries of taking so long. Whereas Bumrah, Jadeja, these guys taking too long, man. So that it is a concern even with Gaikwad that he got that wrist injury. So I hope he feels better and comes back very quickly. So yeah, and then sorry,
Gill and Bracewell बोल रहे इब्राहिम भाई for tomorrow.
Aman Pandya.
क्या बोलते हैं?
So and
You're saying something?
No, Bracewell, I don't think will get enough deliveries if he bats at 6. Like, thing it's T20 in 50 overs. He's got so that's why I'm not going him. But with the ball, yeah, he can get you wickets. Shubman Gill, of course, in excellent form, so is a very good pick. But I was saying also the under-19 semi-finals, India versus New Zealand. I think India are favorites on paper, but the problem is they're playing New Zealand, and that's always a mental block in any format, any sport, anywhere in the world. When they play New Zealand, there's always an issue. लेकिन अगर आप पेपर पे देखो, the likes of Richa Ghosh and Shefali Verma should be intimidating, and they will probably give New Zealand a big challenge. And then from England versus Australia, it's more of an even contest. Australia will be slightly favorites, but the fact that they lost, to was it Bangladesh, it shows that this team can be beaten, and England will be looking to expose their weaknesses tomorrow. Though two exciting semi-finals back to back tomorrow also. That'll be early afternoon in the Middle East, so I'm really looking forward to that also, both semi-finals.
Yeah, I think if I'm not wrong, you were asking just now because Jadeja just took a 7-wicket haul. And I think Brahma just said that.
Yeah. No, I know. I saw that in the Ranchi Trophy, but I'm just saying it took him so long to come back into the team. Even Bumrah is taking him so long. So like that's my point. I know Jadeja is playing right now, and I'm glad that even yesterday he picked up 1 wicket. We noticed, and we said at least he's bowling the overs. He's coming back to his game, and it's great to see him pick up 7 wickets. That's outstanding. It took too long for these guys to come back from injury. So the NCA needs to be working a bit more better, and hopefully the new changes that Lakshman and these guys have suggested works out for Indian cricket, the betterment of Indian cricket. But you want consistent performances. You're only going to get that if your players are fit. नहीं तो फिर क्या खाली बदलते जाएंगे तो फिर प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा आप.
100% वही है. I think वो थोड़ी clarity मिलना in terms of कैसा इनला assess करते क्या करते, what are the steps taken after like an injury happens. And recurring का जिस हिसाब से तो then either the player is not being fully truthful when they ask him are you feeling okay, how ये करो वो करो बोलते थे को usually stretch this या तो वहाँ पे player just खेलने की जल्दी में he just like हाँ मैं ठीक हूँ जाके खेलना है or something or the other is happening there. But yeah, there definitely needs to be some kind of change in that aspect.
Yeah, 100%. If you're looking at both the games tomorrow, the men's ODIs, the ODI South Africa England, who are you backing?
I'm gonna go with South Africa underdogs at this point of time. I would want South Africa to have some kind of redemption in them, and I know England is right now very strong, and it's a very good challenge for them to sort of come back and and they have World Cup at stake. So for South Africa, every match counts.
And Nokia versus Butler is going to be a great battle. I remember once in the IPL, Butler scooped him for 6 or 4, and the next ball, Nokia rattled his off stump out of the route. So that battle I'm really looking forward to, and I think I'm going to go with the England victory. I think the way they play white ball cricket, they're a very confident bunch, and with Jofra Archer back, it gives them extra and pace. He's going to play, I think, 2 out of the 3 ODIs. He's not going to play all 3, but I'm expecting to start tomorrow's one day and then maybe the rest of one in the middle and then play the last one. That's what I'm probably expecting. So with him back, I think that gives them extra, armory, and they'll give Butler the license to go at the South African batsmen and make them uncomfortable. He said he's at 80% friend. He's not 100%, but with Jofra Archer, just the talent that he has and just his name, his status, when he runs up, the South African batsmen will be very facing him. So that's a very big battle And between Archer and Quinton de Kock, I'm looking forward to that battle for sure. So I think I'm going to go with England, and just the way they play the cricket, they play fearless. If they lose, they lose, but more often than not, they try to knock the opposition out of the ground. Scoring 400, 380. They're very ruthless. Uh, if the pitches will allow them to do that, we don't know, because like Ibrahim Bhai said, with the SAT20 going on, everything going on, the pitches are
Right. Yeah.
deteriorating weight and they're getting drier. So maybe that approach won't help them this time around. But I don't think they're gonna still push back. They're gonna continue to play that way, and they won't be conservative going into the series.
Yeah, but it's gonna. Hopefully, I'm again not gonna give it a lot of hype, but on paper, again, this looks like a very good battle. Like you mentioned, North Korea. You mentioned like Josh Butler. Then you have Moeen Ali. You have Al Rashid and Sam Curran and these guys, and then you have hopefully Temba Bavuma stands up, and it looks like a very good game. But I just really want South Africa to perform well. It's been a very long time for them, and if they've broken down and then now they're rebuilding again in patches. But it would be a very big miss if they don't make it to the World Cup.
South Africa, yeah, man. I forgot that one day thing is also on the line for them, so they have to win, and they need to start winning from now. For tomorrow, so it's a big game for them. These matches are in Bloemfontein and Kimberley, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ibrahim, they're very close to each other. So I think two games will be in Bloemfontein, and they'll play the last game in Kimberley, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like an hour drive or something like that. That's what I was reading. But you can tell us more about that. So that's why the series is happening. Is being able to finish quickly, because there's two games on one ground and the other ground is very close by as well. It's not too far away.
तीनों एक दिन में कर देना था खरीफ खरीफ
मतलब टेक्निकली देखो 6 दिन में सीरीज रैप अप हो जा रहा है, वैसा होता नहीं लाइक नॉर्मली, लाइक वन डे सीरीज लाइक नॉट इवन 6 दिन 5 दिन में खत्म हो जा रहा है, ऐसा दिख रहा है मेरे को. तो इट्स अ वेरी वेरी क्विक सीरीज, एंड I don't know, like I think it shows the dominance of T20 leagues now. Like that's taking the importance now. Everybody's focusing on that, and this bilateral, they just want to whip it out and finish it. Like, yeah, just whip it up and finish it off.
But I don't think, I don't think that's the best thing to do from a South African perspective, given at what is at stake. But
I don't think they're giving that much thought, man. They sacrificed their points against Australia. I don't think they care. Like जैसे बाद में देख लेंगे. अभी like पैसे बनाना है, अच्छा लीग चल रहा. We have to focus on that. Let's create this, make this the second best league in the world after the IPL. Let's make that money, and then we'll see what to do after. I don't think anybody's priority is the World Cup right now. Although they will never say that in the press conferences. They'll always say one day World Cup thing. But the way they've been approached it, why would you sacrifice those points, bro? Like if that was the case, they didn't play the Australia series because they said SAT20 is more important. So अगर वैसा है तो फिर भाई, if you don't make it, it's your own fault. You can't really blame anybody. You can't say it's unfortunate or anything like that, because you skipped a series. You got you forfeited the points, and which allows you or helps you go into the World Cup. So if you're not going to do that, then nobody can help you.
But I think even Australia forfeited, right? If I'm not wrong, even Australia said नहीं खेलना है हम लोग को because
no, Australia forfeited the Afghanistan one.
Yeah, Afghanistan तो याद है मेरे को, but
yeah, वो ये वाला South Africa who said कि भाई हम नहीं खेलेंगे the SAT20 something. तो अगर वैसा है, I don't know if they're gonna focus on the thing, but I hope a team like South Africa does make it to the World Cup, because the competitiveness will be there. You can call them chokers, whatever you want to call them, but they have high quality players. Their bowling is one of the best in the world. On their day, they can knock over any batting lineup. And you saw that game against India also in the T20 when they beat India. Like they were bowling like on fire. The likes of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, they were all on the back foot. They didn't know what to do. So South Africa is that kind of team who can, the best of best oppositions, they can rattle you. So I hope they make it. Yes, it's an hour drive tomorrow and Sunday in Bloemfontein and Wednesday in Kimberley. Yes, that's what I was reading. So good to see. It's a 1 hour drive, so not too much commute. And that's why the series will wrap up quickly so that they can focus on the SAT20. And the ILT20, I don't think there's much action because there's been rain happening in Dubai, which is very unfortunate. It's fortunate for the people like us living here because you don't see rain. But apart from that,
it has been delayed. Like even yesterday, I think it got abandoned. Today also, it's been delayed. Sharjah Warriors खेले थे, I think, if I'm not wrong. Faiz के one-liners missing, looks tired. नहीं tired नहीं हो भाई.
Faiz looks off today. I don't know what happened, but he'll be back. It's just one of those days because it's gloomy, rainy, and I think that got to him. Maybe he's missing home. Maybe it could be anything, but he'll be back. I think one coffee and he'll be back. One coffee.
Yeah, I
You
think
didn't
it's the
you didn't have your
coffee.
evening coffee. Yeah.
No, I
So
didn't have my
Faiz,
coffee.
you do look down, man. But don't worry, you'll be back. Root को ODI मौका क्यों नहीं दे रहे हैं
Whatever
भाई?
goes down will come up. क्या बोलता है आशीष भाई? हाँ? रूट को वनडे ओडीआई में मौका नहीं दे
तुम
रहे
बोले पर
हैं.
हाँ तुम बोले मैं कुछ बोला ही नहीं बीच में.
नहीं, मैं हाँ बोलता, लाइक कवरिंग करना पड़ता भाई. इट्स रूट को
हाँ.
ओडीआई का मौका नहीं दे रहे भाई. कहीं को नहीं दे रहे मुस्तफा भाई.
Because look, I think that Joe Root will get a chance. I think they will probably give him a chance before the World Cup and see and test him out. इसलिए नहीं दे रहे भाई, उसके बिना जीत रहे हैं उन लोग आराम से अभी. Like they've done well in white ball cricket. लेकिन Joe Root was there a part of the 2019 squad and he played an anchor role at times. And I feel that they can go back to him.
कंपटीशन भी बहुत है यार ये टीम में. लाइक मुस्तफा was saying कि यहाँ पे ये इंग्लैंड की स्क्वाड ऐसी है कि भाई आप किसको भी लाके खिला दो इंटरनेशनल मैच, he will try and perform to the best of his ability. And they all
Malan
look
आ
ready.
गया right बीच में. Rifaz Malan he became the your T20 number one batsman in the world. And then one down in one days as well. He was very aggressive. He was scoring runs. So someone like a Malan took Joe Root's spot. That's what happened. He was so consistent. He became ICC number one. David Malan. You would have never thought that. So that's maybe another reason why Joe Root is not playing.
Yeah.
भेज
भेजो
दो
घर भाई
को.
को. बोर हो गया दुबई से. टाइम टू पैक बैग्स एंड गो हैदराबाद. ये नो भाई, दुबई की बात अलग है भाई. आपको भी पता है वो तो आशीष भाई. बट ना, हैदराबाद है बट दुबई भी है. समझ रहे हो.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. I mean, I can go on another 15-20 minutes, but if anybody has last couple of questions, do ask us regarding the matches tomorrow, regarding anything. You can ask us. First, your prediction on the India versus New Zealand. How you seeing this game pan out?
I'm seeing New Zealand coming in to be a little bit more stronger. That what we saw in the last ODI where Conway made a century. They were looking more aggressive. They were looking to spoil the rhythm of the bowlers. I'm looking, and with the likes of Siraj and Shami not being there, it'll be a bit of a test for Hardik Pandya. So I'm going to be saying New Zealand is going to. I think I have a feeling New Zealand is going to win tomorrow.
New Zealand's going to win tomorrow, you're saying. Also, they're playing against a more inexperienced Indian attack, right? So they have to take advantage of that, put them under pressure. Although their bowling lineup is also pretty experienced, but I think the fact that the likes of Mavi, Umran Malik, Arshdeep don't have that level of experience of Shami and Siraj, it might be some sort of relief for New Zealand. Like, only time will tell. They'll have to be informed. Otherwise, they can't take Umran and Arshdeep lightly either, man. Umran is the type of bowler kabhi bhi unhe wicket
ले सकता है. And again, Umran can get smacked as well. We know that he has a tendency of getting hit over the park. Obviously, he's not been as much in recent times, but we will see. I feel Allen will score tomorrow.
I'm not taking this.
I did say this, yeah.
जब भी न्यूजीलैंड खेलता है, हर वक्त बोलता है, I don't care if he scores 50, I'm not giving any points. Ashish, no, but every time he's score कितना टाइम हो गया अभी तक स्कोर नहीं करा उन्हें. जो हमारा ऑस्ट्रेलिया के गेम्स अब तक.
But he says, I feel Allen. Why am I feeling Allen, bro? Acha, I feel Allen will score
every
tomorrow.
match he says Allen will score, yeah, okay. Bro. Every match, and he doesn't
wrap
score.
Wrap it up कर दे. शॉ को मौका दो, गिल को 2 फॉर्मेट तक ही रखो. या मुस्तफा भाई बिहाइंड दिस 100% उनको बिल्कुल सहमत है अंशुल भाई. बिकॉज पृथ्वी शॉ के बहुत बड़े फैन हैं. Because of the style of play, Mustafa Bhai likes people who are aggressive. वीरेंद्र सहवाग रह लो या कोई भी सूर्य कुमार एंड वैसे टाइप ऑफ प्लेयर बहुत पसंद उनको, जो आके बॉल वन से शुरू कर दे. आई थिंक गिल को बेस्ड ऑन फॉर्म शायद मौका देंगे, बट इट वुड आल्सो बी अ न्यू. मैं जिस तरीके से देख रहा हूँ, अगर पृथ्वी शॉ को लाया जाता है कल, इट वुड बी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड सॉर्ट ऑफ अ मैसेज टू द ड्रेसिंग रूम कि भाई आप कुछ भी कर लो, आप जबरदस्त फॉर्म में रहेंगे एक फॉर्मेट में, इट डजंट मीन आपको दूसरे फॉर्मेट में गारंटी मौका मिलेगा. So that is one way, and I think मुस्तफा की उंगली उठ गई.
मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि in terms of that, if I look at it the other way, right, शुभमन गिल का ही बनता, but I want पृथ्वी शॉ. मेरे 11 में पृथ्वी शॉ, मगर शुभमन गिल का बनता, because I don't agree with not crisscrossing formats. Why not? If the guy's in form, खिलाओ उसको जो भी format है. विराट कोहली 3 format खेला. शुभमन गिल, if you want him to be the next Virat Kohli or whatever, play him all 3 formats and see him. Put him in those conditions. Put him in those challenges कि भाई आप T20 भी मेरे को मार्केट दिखाओ. आप इतना टैलेंट दिखा रहे हो वनडे में, टेस्ट में, यहाँ पे भी मार्केट दिखाओ. So if you want to develop a player like that, all format player, you can play T20s.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's right, and I think Dhoni meeting Indian team is good enough boost for
India. I don't
India
think you heard what I said. What did I say, Faiz?
You said that if he's good enough to play in like one score formats, if he's good enough to play in one format, and definitely he'll get. I listen to everything you
What else
say,
did
bro.
I
I
say?
mean, I take it by the
What
hand.
else?
I take
What
your
else did I say? What
analysis
else?
very
I didn't say.
seriously.
I didn't say that. I said that if someone like a Virat Kohli, if you want him to be the next Virat Kohli, then he should play all three formats. I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
Dhoni meeting.
yeah.
Yeah, bolo, sorry.
I think Dhoni meeting Indian team is enough boost for India to put a winning performance tomorrow. Yeah, जबरदस्त दिख रहा था वो वीडियो देखा मैं भी. इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम अच्छा आजकल बहुत ज्यादा सोशल मीडिया करे इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम. आई थिंक कोई किसी को हायर करे. But yeah, he was talking to Washington Sundar. He was meeting with Ishan Kishan because both of them are local lads of Ranchi. But yeah, MS Dhoni से कोई भी मिले तो obviously it's going to be a boost, and boost is the secret of India's energy. Also, how do you look at Dhoni meeting India?
There's a difference, just like that fun. Dhoni was there as consultant, bro, in the T20. क्या हुआ आप knockout भी नहीं आए, semi-final में भी नहीं आए.
उस दिन आमने सामने नहीं शायद. Mostly wants
भाई
Prithvi Shaw.
उन्हें
हाँ
dressing room
मालूम
में
मालूम
दिया,
मालूम मालूम भाई
consultant,
मालूम. Yeah, mentor, not consultant, mentor. Mostly wants
mentor
Prithvi
था.
Shaw. Yeah, mentor था, mental हो गया था इसलिए छोड़ दिया उन्हें. Mostly wants Prithvi Shaw. Yeah, mostly wants Prithvi Shaw like full. He likes Prithvi Shaw and the way Prithvi Shaw plays, and yeah, definitely he'd be a very good addition to this T20 slot with the likes of, man. Imagine Surya Kumar and Prithvi Shaw a partnership, and that'd be something special to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Prithvi Shaw is a bludgeoner. He's very destructive, and I'm not talking in a sexual way. I'm talking about the batting wise. He's
No
very
one thought
destructive.
that. I don't know why you're bringing this. No one thought that.
I bet you $1,000 that this is not a sexual comment.
No, bro. He just said Mustafa wants Prithvi Shaw on the team,
Yeah.
and then he's laughing at that. Like, oh my god, this guy's not
Okay,
going
I
to
owe
go
you
for Gill, and
thousand
he's going to
dollars.
go for
I owe
this.
you $1,000. If you think it's not, then I owe you $1,000. But yeah, Prithvi Shaw is very destructive, but he's different too. He takes risks. He can get out first ball also. He's that kind of player. Dhoni telling Indian team not to get run out, it can result in huge losses. Yeah, man. MS Dhoni lost India the semi-final of the 2019 World Cup by getting run out. And not only that, he consumed like 100 dot deliveries. And Jadeja was carrying him till the end, bro, in that game.
Situation called for it, bro, and that's what he did.
Oh, he got run out. Took it deep, and got out. Jadeja is the one who took India to that stage where they could have won the game. So yeah, in that
Definitely,
particular
and
game,
like
if you talk,
Dhoni supporting him had nothing to do with it, but okay, fine. Dhoni
Dhoni wasn't supporting with him. Dhoni was trying to survive, bro. He just kept playing. If you're
साथ
supporting
रखना,
me, you take the
साथ
single.
खड़ने कभी कभी मुश्किल में साथ खड़ना ही बस होता है मुस्तफा भाई.
भाई सिंगल निकालो, सिंगल ही नहीं निकाला उन्हें.
सिंगल नहीं निकाल सका ना, रन आउट हो गया.
No, when Jadeja was batting, if you go back and
Yeah,
see
I
the
know what you
replay,
mean.
when Jadeja was batting, Dhoni played how many dot deliveries? Go and see his dot ball percentage in that game.
Yeah, I know. We were talking during that match, and you were giving it to me then also, like you are right now. But I know, but Dhoni की biasism है मेरे में, so I love Dhoni a lot.
No, of course, he's the India's greatest ever captain, bro. You should love him. No one say don't love him. But you have to call a spade a spade. When Hardik Pandya performs, he performs. I'll accept it. You got to call a spade, bro. Ben Stokes is the best all-rounder in the world. Yeah, any last thoughts? Anything else you wanted to discuss?
Anything else there is to discuss? I mean, there is rain
there's
in the
plenty,
T20.
but
Plenty like?
I was reading the Wasim Akram book. I can tell you some stories that I was reading.
We know the main story. We know the two main stories in that book. There's not much to that book. I think उसका भी paper फाड़ के उन्होंने कुछ
No, but I
करेंगे.
would highly recommend people to read that book because it's written by Gideon Hayes, one of the top journalists in the world right now. I mean,
Yeah,
my
but yeah.
favorite was Peter Roebuck. He was like my favorite writer, but right now I think Gideon Hay, unfortunately he passed away, Peter Roebuck, but now Gideon Hay for me is the best writer in the game. So if you want to up your cricketing knowledge, read that book because the way he wrote it was great, and it's not easy to write in first person. He's writing from Wasim Akram's perspective, so it's a very good book. You should definitely look at it. 2024 में T20 में विराट की जरूरत पड़ेगी इस टीम को. वो तो टाइम बताएगा भाई. अब अभी नहीं पता मेरे को क्या होने वाला है, लेकिन जरूरत तो पड़ सकती. It depends on आप कैसा लेके जाएंगे T20
और विराट के
में.
भी फॉर्म देखना पड़ेगा कैसे फॉर्म चल रही है विराट की. एंड ये तरीके से जो टीम शुरुआत करी है, इट लुक्स लाइक अ वेरी सॉलिड स्टार्ट. एंड लाइक मतलब एक साल को तो बहुत टाइम है अभी. बोलते हैं बहुत टाइम है, एकदम से सिर्फ बोल के जुलाई अगस्त आया था.
मगर आप ये बोल सकते हैं कि आपका प्रायोरिटी वनडे वर्ल्ड कप है. अभी T20 है नहीं, तो जब वनडे वर्ल्ड कप खत्म होगा उस हिसाब से फिर आप देख सकते हैं कि क्या करना है. इन लोग अभी खेल सकते हैं T20, नहीं खेल सकते. आप कौन सा डायरेक्शन में जाना चाहते हैं, फिर उन लोग फिर देख सकते हैं. Then they can plan it out. Right now it's too early because you have a bigger tournament coming up before that, which is the One Day World Cup. And yeah,
100%.
that's why, like, this T20 World Cup, this T20 series against New Zealand, like you said, like it's in a year's time, but at least it's a building phase. You're building somewhere. You have like a line of direction.
Exactly.
I just hope they go with this direction. If you bring in a
Exactly.
Virat Kohli, it doesn't spoil the direction. It might make it better. But don't bring everybody back, like the likes of Ashwin, this, that, and all
Yeah,
that.
WWF नहीं करना है यहाँ पे, अंडरटेकर ट्रिपल ए सबको ले लेके आ रहे हैं. आई थिंक मुस्तफा यू राइट इन दैट पॉइंट कि अगर आप एक टीम बिल्ड कर रहे हैं सही डायरेक्शन में, और अब विराट कोहली इज नाउ इन दैट आई थिंक एज या मेंटल स्टेट के ही इज लाइक आई एम going to play my cricket, I'm going to enjoy, I'll guide the guys when they require it, I'm not going to
Yeah,
unnecessarily enter
which
into
is fine.
arguments and stuff, which is very good. And Rohit Sharma
Yeah,
के साथ भी जो controversies बोल रहे थे लोग, we saw that they both are having a good time with I mean enjoying each other's company
yeah.
on the
मैं कुछ
field
भी
and
नहीं
off the
बोलूंगा.
field. नहीं मैं पहले सोच लिया कि जो हमारे comment section में boys है तेज हो रहे
Classic
हो.
permanent baby form तो रोहित की आती जाती रहेगी. So he's saying Rohit Sharma's class.
सबको
Ashish was
आती
asking
नहीं,
about
कोहली की
the
जाती नहीं
100.
क्या?
Remember, he was asking about Rohit Sharma's 100 the other day.
Yeah, Ashish, what happened, bro? रोहित शर्मा सेंचुरी मार दिया, bro. सबकी आती नहीं, और एक साल में वापस आ गई रोहित भाई की.
रोहित भाई सुना दिए भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में, भाई कैसा बोल रहा है ऐसा मेरे बारे में.
आई थिंक वो आशीष पे था वो जवाब. मैं 12-13 ओडीआई खेला, 2 टेस्ट खेला, क्या बोल रहा है मेरे को? Get your facts right बोल दिया ना पब्लिक broadcast.
Get your facts right. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Anshul bhai, Ashish bhai, Ibrahim bhai, and we got Hitman also, Dr. Foodie, Punter, everybody who joined us. We really appreciate it.
Is that Hitman Rohit Sharma or Bret Hart? That is the important question.
I can answer it because the display picture shows Rohit Sharma, so it is Rohit Sharma. If they didn't have a display picture, then it would be tough.
Yeah.
Bret Hart, the Hitman.
50 मीटर्स के ग्राउंड में कोई भी मार दे ऊपर से आउट. तो कोहली का कोई नहीं मारा.
एक बंदा नहीं मारा.
But I like Kohli, man. I'm with you on that, Ashish bhai.
एक बंदा नहीं मारा होगा 50 मीटर.
सूर्या चल गया तो T20 का बैट्समैन ना बोलने लगे लोग. अभी तो वही है, इस आईसीसी T20 मैन नहीं, हाँ, लाइक आईसीसी T20 प्लेयर ऑफ द ईयर तो है सूर्या कुमार. तो आई एम प्रीटी श्योर अभी तो ये बोलेंगे जब तक वो 50 ओवर के फॉर्मेट में अपने कदम मजबूत ना करें. आई डोंट थिंक अभी उनको कोई सीरियसली लेगा वो फॉर्मेट में. बट T20 में तो उनके अलावा बैटमैन, रॉबिन, जोकर, बेन सब वही हैं अभी एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम.
One thing, as I noticed, the South Africa team, I think they need to bring in like a Stubbs or a Brevis just to have something different in the one-day team. Also, I know that they're very young right now, but I think one of them just to develop them, bring them into the one-day squad. They don't need to play every game, but have them in and around that squad and develop them as a youngster and make them play that 50-over format. And that's because with the one-day World Cup coming up, one of these youngsters could be an X factor also. And if you have them in the bench also, it's a learning curve. Even if they don't play, it's okay. At least they get to be exposed in a World Cup, right? They understand what a World Cup is about and everything. So that's one thing that I was just looking at their squad. I felt that a youngster should come in.
Yeah. They don't. Yeah, actually, they don't have a lot of young guys, but they have a lot of people right now who, at least I'm happy that they're coming from the SCT20 directly, who are in form, like Henrik Klaasen and Markram hai, who was not there for a while. David Miller is back. At least they're doing something, and I think अभी वर्ल्ड कप का तो दिमाग में जो तुम बोले वर्ल्ड कप का तो दिमाग में भी नहीं रखा ना, जिस हिसाब से जा रहे तो देखना पड़ेगा. आई थिंक बट Brevis would be a good shout. I think जबरदस्त टैलेंट है यार.
Yeah, Brevis. Yeah, because that transition phase becomes a bit smoother. नहीं तो एकदम से आपको प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है down the line. I know it's a very long term thing what I'm saying, but एक को लगता है आपको पता नहीं, he can be an X factor also. First, also just quickly, you can tell. I'll remind the viewers that we have a lot of India vs Australia PGT content coming up. There'll be a lot of comparisons and there'll be a lot of shows going into the Test series. We're really looking for that. Fez is looking forward to that. Fez is chomping at the bit. He's very excited for that Test series. He's already doing the research. I'm also helping him out. We're doing a lot of readings, and we will get you some fun episodes for that Border Gavaskar trophy between India and Australia. A lot of matchups, a lot of challenges.
बहुत मजा आने वाली है यार. वो
Who's the best test batsman in the world? Who's the best test spinner in the world? We might, at this series, might give you the answer because you have a lot of stars playing. It's that, right? बड़े-बड़े प्लेयर खेल रहे तो you get a lot.
बड़े-बड़े प्लेयर खेल रहे और उसके साथ सब फॉर्म में है अभी. एट दिस पॉइंट फॉर्म में है या सभी ऑलमोस्ट फॉर्म में हैं. सभी थोड़े लोग इंजरी से वापस आ रहे, थोड़े लोग, बट जिस तरीके से स्मिथ को देख रहे हैं अपन, कोहली को देख रहे हैं, रोहित शर्मा को देख रहे, लाबुशेन को देख रहे, इट्स जस्ट going to be, I just don't want to again do what we did with South Africa. Expectations इतने हाई हो गए थे साउथ अफ्रीका के साथ, फिर एकदम से थप पुल के छन से जो टूटे कोई सपना टाइप सिचुएशन हो गया था, एंड देन जग सुना हो गया बिकॉज कोई ओडीआई सीरीज भी नहीं खेला वहां पे, बट इट्स गोना बी होपफुली अ गुड वन. Kulcha can win us the game tomorrow. Maybe I am going with Kul, not Cha. For me, Kul is my pick tomorrow.
I don't think Chahal will play. They'll go with Kuldeep and
Washington.
Sundar. Yeah, I think that's what I feel. Because if they're going to go with three
two leg
pacers,
spinners.
They'll go with Kuldeep and Washington Sundar. Unless if it's like you said, a turning track, and they want to be very aggressive and have Hardik Pandya as a third seamer, they could try that. But I don't think they'll do that.
Ishan can play at 4. Was looking good in the previous game. Was looking good.
Struggling in the last game, bro.
Yeah, last game though he choked in too many. He got scored 17 or 19 or 24 or something. He took in a lot of deliveries.
He was like 5 or 15 at one stage. He was struggling in the last game.
Yeah, he was struggling in the last game, and that was actually shocking because of the way the pitch was playing. But yeah, someone is another.
I was also surprised.
Mm-hmm. Samson is another player, or Surya, who dominates at that position. But what are we talking about? A T20 or are we talking about the Test?
I think talking about the T20, Surya dominates that position at 4, man. Nobody is going to take that position from him. From Test matches, ideally, I would like to see Sarfaraz at that 5 position, especially with Ayer's injury there and everything. But yeah, I don't know who's going to play at 5. Let's see. If Ayer comes back, he'll probably play there. If not, then Surya or Ishan Kishan will play there. Only time will tell. But Faiz, one last question I had for you is because you were very adamant that Ishan Kishan should start, and I understood exactly where you were coming from, because like for Rishabh Pant, I'm talking about the Test series. Do you seeing his wicket keeping now in the one days and just his form in general? I know that can change now. We can have a great T20 series also, but in general, do you think that he's ready for a Test match, or would you go with KS Bharat, who's proven as a very good keeper, at least if not batsman, at least a very good keeper in red ball cricket?
That's a very good question, because if I'm looking at this two ways. One way is just what you mentioned a few minutes ago in the South Africa dressing room, that give them that sort of match to get under their belt, and give them that responsibility so that they can get this kind of early experience. Now the other way I'm looking at it is Test championship is at stake, right? And KS Bharat will give you that thing, but again, in terms of I don't know when KS Bharat last played like his red ball. He played Ranchi this entire season, right?
Yeah, and he was the keeper in that substitute keeper in the Indian series, if I'm not mistaken. It was on a crazy stumping because he's kept to Ashwin, Jadeja, and all these guys, so he has that experience.
Yeah, and I think the only for me, I'm looking at for WTC kind of a situation, and I would go with KS Bharat because again, but only thing that Ishan Kishan brings, I think KS Bharat is not left-handed and Ishan Kishan is left-handed. That's the differential factor in that lineup. So maybe that is one differential that they have. But yeah, if I'm going for WTC wise, then KS Bharat is, if he's a proven talent and not getting starts, then that is why I wanted him to play one of the matches against New Zealand, man, just to sort of understand where he is right now.
I don't think it will make much of a difference. It's okay because look, the thing with Ishan Kishan, if he's struggling with his keeping technique in the white ball, in the red ball, it's going to be even more tougher.
More
especially
harder,
on day 4, day 5.
It's not
going to be easy. Just based on his keeping, I think he's not ready. That's my opinion. With the bat on again, he can struggle completely, or he can have a whirlwind knock. I don't know. But for me, I don't think he's ready as a Test cricketer. Rishabh Pant also, if you remember, he was in and out of the team. He was dropped for a long time when Saha was keeping. He started off and then he got dropped. Saha was keeping. Then he had to fight his way back. For Ishan Kishan just to come in and cement his spot, it's going to be extremely difficult, especially in these conditions. If it's a rank turner, his batting will be tested and his keeping will be extremely tested. It'll be like very challenging for him. It'll be a big challenge.
Ayer के बाद कोई 4 पे नहीं है. 2019 में भी यही प्रॉब्लम थी इंडिया की. आई थिंक 50 ओवर्स या अभी भी कोई नहीं है. KL Rahul will open. KL Rahul is there no in the
KL Rahul at 5 baby. KL Rahul at 5, Hardik at 6.
Yeah, so 4 पे अगर अय्यर है या सूर्या, one of those two right now.
well वही बोल रहे नहीं परफॉर्म कर रहे, राइट? KL Rahul भी परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा और हार्दिक पांड्या तो ठीक है, लाइक मगर सूर्या भी नहीं परफॉर्म कर रहा, तो वही प्रॉब्लम बोल रहे हैं कि लाइक
हाइलाइट्स में तो ईशान अच्छा लग रहा था. अच्छा
I
वो तो
mean,
नहीं
he
देखा
hit those couple of boundaries, मगर highlights में वो नहीं दिखाई उन्हें कैसा start करा innings, like you know
है,
वो
बहुत स्लो
देखना
था,
था, बहुत struggle करा
सुना
वो
दी
भी flat pitch पे. विराट कोहली कैसा शुरू करा, you know from ball one half
फॉर
board के
क्या
दिया
शॉट
था.
था वो तो।
हाँ, तो ईशान किशन was completely opposite of that. Uh,
संजू है, या संजू सैमसन भी है, अंशुल भाई, बट इंजरी प्रॉब्लम यार वही है उसके साथ, उन्हें कब रहेगा टीम में कब नहीं रहेगा वो एक प्रॉब्लम है।
संजू सैमसन उसको प्रॉब्लम क्या है मालूम, मैं देख रहा हूँ लास्ट ईयर से, जब भी वर्ल्ड कप आ रहा उसको दूसरे स्क्वाड में डाल दे रहे. जब T20
हम्म,
वर्ल्ड कप था उसको वनडे स्क्वाड में डाले, अभी वनडे वर्ल्ड कप आ रहा उसको T20 स्क्वाड में डाल दिया. वनडे में नहीं खिलाए थे, लाइक आई नो ही गॉट इंजर्ड, but he wasn't in this one day squad against New Zealand. If you remember, even against Sri Lanka, he was not in the one day squad, but he was in the T20 squad.
T20 स्क्वाड,
तो
बट इन दैट
उसको नहीं दे
T20
रहे
स्क्वाड में ही गॉट
importance.
इंजर्ड इन द फर्स्ट गेम, सो आई डोंट नो
Yeah, but
क्या है
like
प्रॉब्लम।
they're not giving him importance, like you know, in the starting 15 also, like in the 15 member, they're not giving him importance when it comes to the big tournaments. And I think a big, massive IPL average of 80, 90 can change that. I know that crisscross and all that, but it will change it. Trust me, it will change it. If he
Yeah, I
averages
think
80,
also it
90,
is where he's comfortable. If he's comfortable in a T20 or a 50 format, and we play
भाई
him according to that
वैसा कैसा
tournament.
आप बोल रहे हैं कंफर्टेबल, उसको T20 जबरदस्ती खिलाए लास्ट ईयर, वनडे खिलाए जब T20 का इंपॉर्टेंस था, उसको जिम्बाब्वे वेस्ट इंडीज भेज दिए, और फिर अब उसको वनडे नहीं खिला रहे, T20 खिला रहे उसको. दैट मींस बिकॉज द बिग बॉयज आर बैक इन दैट फॉर्मेट, अंडरस्टैंड,
Hmm.
right? Like they're not looking at him in that 14, 15. At least in the 11 for sure they're not, but even in the 15 then he's not in the frame.
Hmm.
And to get in the frame, he has to have a crazy IPL. And if he gets an opportunity for India, any format, he needs to smash it. That's the only way
Yeah.
he might be considered in the World Cup squad.
Yeah.
Chetan Sharma is
Okay.
stupid. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
man. Chetan Sharma has issues also with the previous selectors. They in 2019, I forgot his name on top of my head. He had some long, he had like longer hair, way longer than me, like that. I forgot his name, but he also was criticized heavily. Was it Venkatesh? Was it? I forgot his name, man. The one who dropped Ampati Raidu from the team, and Raidu tweeted 3D. Uske bhi issues the. I think whoever is the chief selector will always have a problem, man. Because in India, there's too many people. You're always confused. Like us as fans, also we say isko khilao, isko khilao, isko khilao, because there's so much competition. So I don't think it's an easy job, and whoever is at the job will always make mistakes. I don't think anyone can have a smooth selection process. वैसा वो मुश्किल है, especially with
100%
the
it is a tough job, but again, I think they should just have a understanding with the captain and the management of like the coaching staff. I think that will at least make more sense, and that will probably translate into a better sync and a better performance on the pitch.
selectors shouldn't be allowed to repeat the post. Interesting. I guess especially if they don't have a successful run, then yeah, they shouldn't be able to repeat. बुमराह को टेस्ट में खिला के फिर इंजर्ड ना करना चाहिए. तो बेसिकली रोहित शर्मा बोला था कि भाई I'm hoping that he comes back for the last two test matches against Australia, so he's gonna run into the team. I don't know if he's gonna play some Ranchi before that, but he's gonna run to the team if he's fit. I don't see him playing those last two games, and if he does, I'm worried also that like Anshul bhai ki bhai unhe injured kahan ho jaye.
Yeah, but he also said Bumrah ke had tak, he might he will come back in the first. Then he changed his words and saying no, I'm
Yeah,
not
he
saying
changed
he.
it.
Hopeful Vulcan, because he doesn't want anyone to get expectations. So I think BB uske upar, you
It
never
all
know.
depends on how the series starts for India. If they're off to a 2-0 victory, I don't like if they're winning 2-0, I don't think they'll bring Bumrah back for the third, fourth. If they're 1-0 down, or if it's 1-1, then they'll bring Bumrah, I think, at all cost. वैसा दिख रहा है मेरे को. Only
देखना
time will
पड़ेगा.
tell. But yeah, so Faiz, sorry, आपको और 15-20 मिनट ले लिया extra. Thank you so much, everybody. The comments were lovely, the questions were lovely, and stay tuned. Tomorrow, we have a lot of cricket to talk about, and we'll get that to you after the games tomorrow, hopefully. One of us will come for sure. The other one might be a bit late, but they'll come also. So we'll both be here again, and we'll discuss a lot of cricket. There's too much tomorrow. So
And
have your
tomorrow we'll
TVs
be
on.
discussing Pathan also.
Yeah, I mean, man, no spoilers right now. I'm gonna ignore the comments. But yeah, no, I'm joking. So, but mainly there's a lot of cricket, so we will be busy with that. And whoever is watching, who plays fantasy football, I know there's a bit of a break, but there's still a lot of cup action and FA Cup, Carling Cup, and you can analyze a lot of players' performances. They will help you fix your teams, and you can always join Chasing Green Arrows. We'll have our shows Friday and Monday with Gianni and Dean. Sanju performed well in ODI last year. I think he should be ahead of Kishan in ODI selection, especially if it's a middle order position. I think that's a good shout. The fact that Kishan scored a double 100, maybe that's why they're putting him ahead. But I think that's a very good shout. He did have a very good one day. I think his average is like 50 or something, 50 plus Sanju Samson. So yeah, it's a very good shout. Like now that he's injured, we can't say much about it. That's what I'm saying. He has to have wherever he gets the opportunity, whether it's the IPL, whether it's an India T20, whether it's domestic, he has to break the wall down now. So yeah, let's call it a night, Fez. Thank you so much for joining me and everybody else. Thank you so much. Until tomorrow, take care, have a good night, and yeah, enjoy the matches tomorrow.